Hello everyone, welcome to podcast. And we have seen the slide presentation on the topic Python language syntax. Now we'll see the implementation part. For this, you can create your account on Google Colab and practice the code for the different language syntax using Python. Now, first of all, we'll start with the implementation part and see how we could use Python interpreter for solving different problems. So we'll define the type topic Python language syntax. Now, starting with Python, we'll see the basic syntax which is used in Python, which is the hello world. Now, what if I want to print this? And this is the basic syntax used. So, basic syntax. Now, we'll use print, and whatever I type between this print and double quote will be printed. So, hello, hello world. Let's see how it works. So, it has printed hello world. Now, starting with the second, we'll see what is comments in Python. Comment in Python. Now, comments are just information which is generally avoided by the interpreter. Now, how do we use it? So, for that we have to just use the symbol hash, and I will type this is a single line comment. Okay, and after that I will use the print, and I will try to print something like Python ignore comment. So when I print this, we just got the Python ignore comment, and we have not printed. There is no error showing. So this is the use of Python. We can use Python. We can use comment for basically adding the more information about the syntax which we are using, or the code of line which we are using, to understand what we are actually trying to do in this. So that is the use of comment. Now these are the single line comment. Okay? Now what if I want to use multi-line comment? For that we have another. Third is the multi-line comment. Multi-line comment. For that, we need to use triple quote. So now whatever I type between this, suppose I type this is a multi-line comment. Okay? And it is used for code understanding and making our code more explicit and or interactive. Comments are very important while we are using Python, as or any language. It will basically use to understand the different line of code. Now, in this part, we are just seeing one line of code, but in real life scenario, when we are building any project, there are many thousand lines of code, and we need to understand what role each line of code is playing. So, for that purpose, we use the comment or the multi-line comment. In case of multi-line comment, we don't have any specific symbol to use, but we have the triple quote to understand the multi-line comment. And the Python interpreter generally it as a string. So in this way, we don't get any error. Now after that, I will just use the print. I will say multi-line comment. So Python has ignored the lines of string which we introduced earlier before printing the multi-line comment. That is used. But if you are not using any hash symbol or any triple quote, then the Python interpreter will show an error. Now, what if I pass this is a single line comment without the hash symbol? If I run this, it is showing an invalid syntax error. So for writing comment, we should always use hash symbol, or if you have multi-line comment for any particular line of code, we need to use the triple quote. So hope you guys understood the use of comment. Now next will be the variables and naming rule. For that, fourth one is the variable. variable and naming rules. Now suppose I have a variable named username and I am inserting some value, that is Alice or Bob is the value I'm introducing this to this variable, and when I print this username, so we are getting the value Bob. We can also use the print username, which is showing the same result. But we should go for the print statement always. Now, if I introduce another variable named as user age, okay, so user age and 25, and when I want to see the value in this variable, so if I type user age, it will show the value, that is the 25. Now this is an integer value, as you know, so we can use. Now what if I want to print this both values, username as well as user age? So I will leave print username and comma user age. So we got both the value, that is the Bob, as well as the value in the user age. So this is variables and the naming rules if we use. Now we'll see the indentation and why it is mandatory in Python. So fifth is indentation is mandatory. Now if I type if true, print indented code block. Now always remember, if there is improper indentation, then improper indentation, then it will always raise an error. Indented code. Proper spacing should be there while typing the code between the two words, or like using the semicolon. Now what if I don't use the semicolon here? Okay. And if I'm not using the spacing here, which I used earlier, what will happen? Okay. Indented code block, and then if I print it, we get an error. It is saying we should use the expected semicolon. Now we will introduce the semicolon and I'll see, but still it is showing an error. It is the indentation error. Expected and indented block after if statement, because we need to give space after using the if block. So when I give the space, now now it is not showing any error. So proper spacing, proper use of symbols for each line of code is the indentation part, which is very important. So that is why indentation is mandatory while we are trying to do code on Python. Now six, we'll start with the basic if else statement. Where six is basic if else statement. Now you guys may have heard about the if else statement. You may guys have also used it earlier during school, during college. I will see how basic if else statement works in Python. Now suppose if I have variable which has value 10. Okay. Now I have inserted some value in the variable x, that is the 10. I want to check if my value is greater than 5 or not, right? I know it that my value 10 is greater than 5, but still I want to use the if else statement to check that my value is greater than 5 or not. So for that part, I will type if x is greater than 5, print x is x is greater than 5. Else, if x is not greater than 5, then what will show? I will use the print statement that x is not greater than 5. So what it is showing? X is greater than 5. So this is the way we should use the if else statement. After if mentioning the condition, that we have to see that x is greater than 5. What is x? We have the 10 value in it. So if 10 is greater than 5, semicolon, print x is greater than 5. Now if this condition is not satisfied, we also want to give the else statement. Otherwise we need to see whether the if else condition is not satisfied, then if a statement is not satisfied, then what should be the else condition? Else, semicolon, print x is not greater than 5. What if I say 4? If I'm finding a value to the x variable. So you'll see. What do you guys think? What will happen here? First of all, you'll see if it will go to the first condition, that is the if statement. So if x is greater than 5, which is 4, is 4 greater than 5? No. So this condition is not satisfied. So it will go towards the else condition, and you will see the results. We got x is not greater than. So this is the basic if else statement. Now we'll see the seventh statement, or the seventh, that is the else statement. Else statement. Okay. Now suppose we have a score at 75, right? Now if I type if score is greater than 90, which is not right. 4 is 75. If we type if 4 is greater than 90, print A. So we'll print A. If score is greater than 90, we'll print that A should be the output. Now if we'll give another condition, else score is greater than 60, we will print D. Okay. And we'll then introduce the else statement, which is print C. I will see the working, how it works. Now if I run this cell, we are getting the value as B. At core is 75. First of all, the value 75 is inserted in the, or the integer value in the core. Now for the if statement, first condition, that if core is greater than 90, we'll print A. Now is this statement satisfied? As our core is 75, 75 is not greater than 90. So we will move on towards the next condition, which is the else. Now else core is greater than 60. Is the condition satisfied? As score is 75, which is greater than 60. So we'll get the print of D. Now if this also statement was not satisfied, then we had got the result of the else condition, which is print. Now we'll insert another value, suppose 50. Now what do you guys think? What will happen here? Right? First of all, we'll start with the if statement. If score is greater than 90, is 50 greater than 90? No. So this condition will not be satisfied. We'll move towards the next condition. Now if LA 4 is greater than 60, is 50 greater than 60? No. So this also condition not satisfied. Now if both condition of if statements are not satisfied, then what will happen? It will go towards the else block. And what is the else block? We'll print C. Now we'll run this cell. So what it has printed. So this is the working of the elif statement. Now we'll see the while loop. 1 will be the while loop. Now for iterating over a total of sequence of number. Now suppose for example we have list 1 equal to 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, comma 5. Now I want to work or on this list number of elements in the list. So what I have to do? I have two options. I have to use while loop, or also we have the option of the for loop. But starting, we'll start with the while loop. Now suppose I have inserted for I equal to 0. Okay. For using the while loop, I'll say while I is less than 3. Okay. Print count, and I will print I. Okay. And the condition will be that I plus or equal to 1. I will see how it is working, then I will explain. First of all, we have the value I equal to 0. So while I is less than 3, right? 0 is less than 3. So we'll print count, and what is I here? 0. So first of all, we got that count is equal to 0, right? Now, after this print statement, what we are trying to do? We are trying to add one value towards the I value. Now 0 plus 1 equal to 1. Now I value is 1. Okay. Now I value is 1. So 1 is less than 3, right? So it will print count, and what is the I value? Which is the 1. Now we'll add 1 to the current I value, that is the 1. So 1 plus 1, which is 2. Now we'll see while I is less than 3. So 2 is less than 3. So it will print count and the I value, which is the second one. Now we'll add another value, another 1 towards our I value, which is the 2. So 2 plus 1 equal to 3. Is 3 less than 3? No, they are equal. So this condition is not satisfied, and it will not move forward. So this is the while loop, how we could iterate over a particular sequence which we have, or the condition which we have mentioned. Now next would be the for loop, right? We have seen the while loop. Now we'll see the for loop. Now for loop, suppose I mentioned for I in range of 5. Okay, and what I'm doing? I'm using semicolon, print I. So what it is doing? If you are not introducing any value towards the I, here we had introduced the value of I is equal to 0. But if you are not mentioning the value of I, it will assume it as 0. Now what is range of 5? Now if I print just range of 5, you'll see. So what it is doing, from range 0 it is starting until 5. The last value will be not introduced, only the fourth value will be introduced. So that is the range one. For I in range of 5. So we have not mentioned the value of I. So first value will be 0. Okay. And what we will do, we'll print I. So for I in range of 5. So in range of 5, 0 value comes, right? So it will print 0. Now the next value, which is the after 0, it will come 1. For I in range of 5, it satisfies the condition because it is range of 0 to 5. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to print I, which is the 1. Now moving on, the next value will be the second. So for 2 in range of 5, which is satisfied, we'll print 2. Now next value will be 3. For 3 in range of 5, which is satisfied, we will print I. Next value will be 4. So for 4 in range of 5, print 4. So we got the fourth value. And this way, the for loop condition is, or the for loop is used. Hope you guys understood it. Now we'll take another example. Suppose for in list 1, we have values 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, comma 5. And what I'll do for I in list 1, print I. So how many values are there here? 5. Okay. Now for I in list 1, we are printing I. Now suppose we are not mentioned the value of I here, but we have mentioned that we have to iterate over this list. For I in list 1, what is the first value? 1. We have to print it. So 1, we got the value. Now for the second value is 2. For 2 in list 1, print 2. We got the second. For 3, next value is 3. For 3 in list 1, print 3. For 4, for next value 4. For 4 in list 1, print 4. For 5, the last value in list 1, print 5. After this process I have stopped here. So we have completed the whole loop, and this is the working of the for loop. Now we'll see the loop condition or the for loop condition with else statement. See the 10th value, that is the loop with else. Okay. Now suppose I'm mentioning for I in range of 5. Okay. And what I'm doing, print I. Else, we are using the else condition. So after this condition is satisfied for I in range of print I, after this condition or the whole loop is completed, what should it print? Print loop ended. Okay. Now what happened here? First of all, we'll move now for I in the range of 5. So in the range of 5, what will be the value? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. In the range of 5, we have the value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I will type it here. I will pass a comment here. So it would not comment. And we'll see what are the values. First value is 0, then the first, second, third, and 4. So these are the total values in the range of 5, starting with 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now for first value, which is the 0, for 0 in range of 5, we'll print I, that is a 0. We got the first value 0. For the second value, which is 1, we got the value 1. We have got the second value, we got the third value, we got the fourth value, right? But after this fourth value, we know that all values are completed. So now it will go towards the else condition. As all we have iterated over the total element in the range of 5. So what after that? It will print the else condition. That print loop ended. So this is the working of loop with else condition. Now we'll see the break statement. Okay, how we are using the break statement. Break statement. Okay, this is the inbuilt one. So for I in range of 5. Okay, you guys know for I in range of 5, what will be the values? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now if I put here 6, what will be the values here? Can you tell guys? So values will be starting from 0, comma 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, comma 5. So these are the values in for I in range of 6. Okay. Now for I in range of 6, we'll use the if condition. If I equal to 3, then what it should do? It should break. What it should do? It should break, and at last it would print the I value. First of all, we'll see what will happen with just use the break. We'll introduce another value here. Print I. Okay. Now we have values in range of 6. We have values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What I'm doing for I in range. First value 0, print I. Right. We got the first value. Is it equal to 3? No. 0 is not equal to 3. So this condition is not satisfied. So moving on to the next value, which is the 1. For 1 in range of 6, we will print 1. We got the value. Is 1 equal to 3? No. So this condition is not satisfied. Now for the second value, for 2 in range of 6, print I, which is a 2 we got here. Is 2 equal to 3? No. So we will move on towards the next value. Now the next value is 3. Okay. So for 3 in range of 6, we'll print 3. We got the value 3. Now is 3 equal to 3? True. Condition satisfied. So now the loop has ended here because we have mentioned the break here. So the loop has totally stopped here. So that is the use of break statement, and I hope you guys understood it. Now you can use another value also for your practice. You can mention here 4. Now what will happen? Y equal to 4. What will happen? You see, you got the first value 0, 1, 2, 3, and when it came to 4, what happened? We have satisfied the condition, which is 4 equal to 4, and so the loop has stopped here, which is by using the break statement. Okay, now we'll see what is the continue statement. We have created the break. Now we'll see the continue statement. That is the continue statement. Okay, type for I in range of 5. You guys know what will be the value starting from 0 to 4. Now if I give again a condition, I'll print I here. Same I. Okay, now I'm using the if condition. If I equal to 2, then I type continue. I will see what is happening here. Is anything wrong here? Nothing. For I in range of 5, we have printed I, and if I equal to 2, we show that we should continue. Previously, we were using the break, so it was stopping at a particular condition which we had mentioned, and after using the continue, what it is happening. Now, what I'll do, I'll print here. I'll remove this one. What has happened here? First of all, we started with 0. We got it. We have printed it. For the first value, for 1 in range of 5, this condition is not satisfied. We got the first value. But when I went for the second value, for 2 in range of 5, 2 equal to 2, what is happening? Continue. And after using the continue, we are not getting the value 2 here, which is now kept here. If you want to skip any value, a particular value in the loop, we use the continue statement. And the second value, is it inserted here? No. So second value has been skipped. Now we have moved towards the third, and so this is the use of continue statement. Now 13 next topic will be the function. Now what is the function? It is a block of code, right? So this block of code can be reused again and again. You just need to mention the questions here, and it will give the answer instead of typing it again and again. So for example, and first of all, for defining function, we need to mention the def here, def, and then we need to mention the function name. Suppose I mention great. Okay. Now whatever I pass here will be the input. So suppose I pass here name, and I will mention print hello. Okay. And what else I'll mention here? The name, right? Now I want to print this for any another name. Suppose if I use great, I mention here Virat. Okay. Virat. So what it is printing? Hello Virat. Because what is the name I'm passing here? Great Virat. So it is printing hello Virat. Now I can use another name also. Suppose I'm mentioning the word Ram. What will happen here? What will be the function's output? It will be hello Ram. So this is the work of functions. And what is the basic advantage of function is that we can reuse again. We can reuse it again and again. So we did not to use the for this function. If I did not use the function, I had to type the print statement again and again, which was done by the function. So You guys understood the function part here. Now we'll try to build another function. Suppose now I want to do addition, okay, of any two numbers. I want to suppose if I pass any two numbers to the function, then it should give me the addition of that two numbers. So for that, we will build a function named addition, okay, and I will pass two inputs here, num1 and num2, right? I have to use semicolon, and what will be the function working, that it should print, or it should, you can also use the return statement, which is the num1 plus num2. Okay. Now I will pass any number here. Suppose I pass 4 comma 4. What should be the output? You got an addition of these two numbers. Similarly, I can build this. You can you guys can build this for subtraction, multiplication, division. So this is the work of, instead of typing again and again the long line of code for returning any statement, we are using the function here, which is the addition. Now moving on, we'll use the default argument. So that type default argument. Okay. Now I'll build a function here named as welcome. Welcome. And I'll pass input here name equal to user. Right. And I will print. I'll use the string here, and we just use welcome. I will just pass here the name. Now what will happen? We'll see. I will just mention the welcome function. Okay. I'm not passing any name, nothing. I'll just pass the welcome. So it has given as welcome and user. Now what if I pass any particular name? Suppose, okay. So it is showing welcome Abhishek. We'll use another function welcome, and I will use name equal to input, and then I will print welcome, and then I'll print welcome. Now what if I type here Virat? So that given welcome Virat. This is the use of default argument. Now we'll see the return statement. This we had seen here earlier. The return statement here. What did it return? Now we will build another function. So let first of all we'll mention return statement. Okay. I'll mention a function named subtract. Okay, for subtract. And I will mention values. I have a comma b. And what it will do? It will return a minus b. Okay. What if I insert value in my function 10 comma 5? So what do you guys think? What will happen here? I've just mentioned the, instead of writing any print comment, I've just mentioned the return comment. So when I run this, what I got is the 5 value, which is subtraction value. It basically returns the output of the particular function. You can remember this. Return gives the output of any particular function. So what is the output of this function here now? We got 5. So this is of return statement. Now the next will be the try and except block. Okay, we'll see the next, which is the try and accept block. Now first of all, we'll see try. After try, we will mention the semicolon, print 10 divided by 0. Now you'll type here except, and so here 0 division error, right? And we'll say print cannot divide by 0. What we got? Cannot divide by 0, which is the, we cannot satisfy this condition in the try block, so it went for the except block. And what is the except block? We have mentioned the inbuilt, that is the zero division error, which comes if you are not using zero division error, and will print that cannot divide by 0. So this is the try and except block. We generally use this to avoid any error, right? Now what if I do like this? What it is showing? Zero division error, division by 0. But if I am using here the zero division error for the except block, what it is showing? Cannot divide by 0 instead of giving any error. So this is the use of try and except block. Now the last one, we'll see the input function, which we had seen earlier here. Input function, we'll see how it works. 17th is using input function. And okay. Now I have mentioned a variable name input. What I'm trying to see, enter your name. Okay. After that, I'll print the name. Now see what happens here. So what it is asking, enter your name. So when we want to get our values dynamically, so at that point of time, we need to use the input here. Input, enter your name. So I'll pass it as yes. So it has printed the name. This is the use of using input function. Now summary, for the summary part, what we have learned here, we have learned comment, indentation, the conditions, if else, ellipse, the loop for while, break, the function. We can, how we can use the def for welding function, return, error handling. We use the try and except for input and output. We use the input command. Hope you guys understood, and we have covered much examples, and you can also practice on your own by taking different examples, by inserting different values, and by using multiple approaches. You can practice, and we'll meet in the next section. Till then, bye.